recaps from week 4. We're coming out the gate like Cedric Benson in his rookie NFL season, averaging a third of a yard per rush.
And crying on draft day like a bitch.
And getting through one game every 3 minutes, although that's probably not going to happen here as we talk up free ball and chicken tetrazzini.
All we're missing.
If this was on your Xbox, it would give you the ESPN Instant Classic, probably like number 8, 9, 10.
Mm-hmm.
But you would get Instant Classic points for this.
Yeah. This was a hell of a game. Oh, good game. Chicken tetrazzini, they came out. They played probably the best 4.5 innings I've ever seen them play.
They believed in that number 10 coaches poll rating they got last week.
They're pumped up.
I like to think that
we talked about that coaches poll, I think, off camera. And good showing right there.
Hey, you feel it, you play like it.
Get you hyped up.
You know, it's a mental game.
So they came up, Scott Kenny, I know he had an RKI or two to start out the game. They opened up a 2-0 lead. Defense was on fire. David Show at the Charger position. Brian Neal, they both made great catcher. Both made great throws to first. Scotty Moriarty, your former teammate, he was getting those stretches in there, short-handed. All in all, free balling looked like they were on the ropes. 3-0, they're heading into it. They were pretty rough, but then the 5th inning came.
The bells started tolling. Midnight had come. The glass slipper.
Yeah, they got the top of the top of the order came back up for free balling. They started finding some holes in that defense. You know, just a couple of bunts that were pretty well executed. A couple of kickaways. They got a few runs in. It's 2-2, or no, it was 2-1. And then Alyssa Stoner came up and she kicked a nice little liner into the outfield that ended up scoring 2 runs, driving in 2 runs, and giving free balling the walk-off win.
Hell of a kick by Alyssa Stoner right there in a clutch situation.
She's talented, man. She's good. She's really good. So big win. Free balling stays undefeated. 4-0. Yeah, but they had to earn it. That's for sure.
If anyone has audio of Adam Henry post-game, I'd like to learn some new dirty words. So if you could please send that over to us. Please don't post it in any public forum.
That man's a competitor.
It's funny though, because I was thinking about doing like this new thing where I like go interview people, like put my phone. I was like, all right, so what is your reaction after that game?
Get that fucking camera out my face.
And like Adam was the first one I was gonna do. I was paying them when they won. It's like, how do you feel after the big win, top of the free balling? And then when they lost, I was gonna do it anyway, to see what he did. But I went over to talk to him, and he was just so pissed off, and I was like, just looked so. It was like I've never seen a combination of so much anger and sadness at the same time. And I was like, maybe it's not the time for the backstage interview.
He's been a forefather of that chicken tetrazzini team for a while, and I really felt like, this in recent memory would go in as like a quality win for CT. I mean, they beat up on a lot of the other teams, but to go against and knock down an undefeated free balling team, I think would really put the momentum on their side for the rest of the season. It's just a tough loss to swallow in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, hopefully they take the positives out of it. There's a few things that you just take away the good from it, and it's the regular season. You just keep getting better, keep working at it, and they'll be fine. But they hung in there with an undefeated team. That's
saying a lot.
Yeah.
And speaking of changing momentum, the Chubby Gangsters suffering 2 straight walk-off defeats. That's gotta sit deep back in your mind somewhere, in a bad place. And they were able to erase the ill effects of the last couple of weeks and earn a walk-off of their own.
Yeah,
the tables have turned. An 8-7 win over the New Kickheads.
This was my upset special on the podcast last week, and it looked like it was all going according to plan. New Kicks on the Block, they jumped out to like a 4 or 5-0 lead in the first inning. Like they came out and they were stunning those gangsters. Chubby, they never quit there. They came back and scored some more runs in the first inning, and it was just a shootout. One of those wild games where, they're kicking away, they're bunting, throws are going everywhere.
Who can just get it under control first?
in the end, they went into the bottom of the fifth, 7-7, and they got some base runners on. Brandon Accordino with one out and a runner on third base was able to get the ball to the outfield and get the walk-off sacrifice fly. And so quality win for the Gangsters. It's interesting because they'd been on the losing end of 2 walk-offs already this season, so now they turn the tables on new kickheads.
One of my favorite quotes, live by the walk-off and die by the walk-off.
That's one of my favorites.
Is that really one of your favorites?
Yeah, that for those that weren't aware, your America team with the walk-off after we had
You
that
actually
walk-off.
have that tattooed in Chinese on your right
I
arm,
do.
don't you?
A lot of people think it's the Jack tattoo from Lost, but it actually just says live by the
Live
walk-off,
by the
die by the
walk-off, die by the
walk-off.
walk-off.
There's a little kickball
Is
guy
that what
like
Jack's
that.
tattoo said?
No, it said like you're not a.
Live by the plane crash, apparently die/live in
It says
limbo.
it says something
by the plane crash.
from Thailand that says you live with us, but you are not one of us. And they got the crap kicked out of them by the natives. But that's here or there.
Actually, I read that was his tattoos prior to being signed onto the show, and they just put them into
Matthew
his
Fox has to do what he has to do.
character.
You do party of 5,
You
and then
punch a bus driver when you're
you
drunk.
drive drunk. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Guys, I hate to break this to you, but we still have one more game to talk about. And then we'll
I
get
hate
back
that
to
you
our
broke that
losses.
to me. I really do. It was peanut butter and jelly time, overcoming adverse. I don't know why that would be the case.
Well, I've heard
Beating a spread.
there's a lot of. I've heard that they thought that we didn't respect them too much on this podcast, so I feel like they wanted to really come out and prove that we need to respect them a little bit.
Hey, I'm not surprised by this. Much like I did in your game, I pretty much nailed this one. I said, what did I say, 15 and a half? 16 to nothing.
I think you just
You were
made
on
that
a
up.
roll, man. Like,
No, I didn't just make it
we
up.
need to check back on the podcast pass.
YouTube.com/Walker Peninsula, episode 20.5 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's there. It's there.
Nobody disses your kickball acumen.
I know. They'd be fools if they did.
Yeah. I mean, quality win by Peanut Butter Jelly. I know nothing about this game, as usual.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can throw my stereotypical things where...
Please, though. We invite you to.
Stereotypical comment number 1 is they just got the balls in the gaps where they needed to go. I mean, they were just...
We just
you know,
need
button
stock
line.
footage of you.
Astute observation.
Yeah. And it was just too much for wasted talent to handle. It's a rookie
It
team.
just cuts to Matt saying the same
Yeah.
thing in Pena's kitchen, Matt saying the same thing at Lucky's, Matt saying the same thing wherever else we filmed.
Yeah.
That might be just it.
I've been asked...
Matt
because-
saying the same thing in a tent with me, cuddled up under some
Under
sleeping
some
bags.
sleeping bags. Well, I'm glad nobody's caught on that. But as you know, I am back with the podcast now under new contract. So thank you, Waka, for meeting me in the negotiations. And one of the negotiations
You're
was
I had
thank
to
you.
take a big hit
Yeah.
in contract and salary, but that's what I do for the team.
But one of the stipulations was I have to stay for a couple of games now each week and record my
So
thoughts.
you
and
promptly
observations.
ran off the field.
The contract wasn't signed yet. We were still in negotiations. I was
there-
going out.
No, there's a stipulation. If Rumspringer loses, it's
Yeah.
straight to the bar.
Well, I had to drink and then come here and watch Sons of Anarchy on DVR.
Oh, you have one?
Hmm?
Oh, you have one. All right.
There it is.
We'll get to that later.
So PB&J, good job, guys. This was the peanut butter jelly sandwich bowl, Texas orange versus purple. Can't wait to see the picture that they took together. So that should be interesting, at least.
I bet it's adorable.
For the first time, jelly prevailed over peanut butter.
Yeah, really. Like, you make a PBJ for the peanut butter.
Yeah.
Oh, let's... Like, the jelly, it can be anything. Like, I'll switch jelly flavors, you know, like I'm switching socks on a Sunday, and I do that a lot. Because it's all about the protein and the brown.
Your
for
feet
me.
are pretty sweaty on Sundays. Usually.
Well, I'm watching the Redskins, so all of me is sweaty and angry.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that'll
Like
do
they
it.
told us in the army, man, you gotta take care of your feet.
Yeah.
Change
That was
your
actually
socks.
Forrest Gump.
Who was in the army?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it happened.
Forrest Gump.
No.
Okay.
In reality, before it happened in
Yeah.
the film. And
Don't wanna
yes.
get
I was just
Hey,
picking
every
at
time
you.
you stop,
I was just
change your
picking at
socks.
you, you old vet,
Hey.
you.
You don't want to get that trench foot.
I'm gonna trench my way
You
over
got
here.
sock
and
liner, man.
this state.
You can never get down with the sock liner.
No.
Do the little like black sock liner.
Stay tuned for episode
Oh,
21.3.
thank you for 30 games. Thank you.